10 minutes, literally 10 minutes to get to Pret right now. And it's gonna take me at least 15 to get there. So let's see how this goes. We made it. Yes, guys.
Wait, what? You're back? You're not wearing a black t-shirt?
What? You don't have that black background?
Yes, I am back. I did take a short break. To be completely honest, I didn't actually intend for the break, but it just kind of happened. In all honesty, it was just because I couldn't get a haircut during lockdown.
You're a joke.
But I'm still here regardless, okay? I came to the conclusion that I needed to be here. So today's video, we're doing a Q&A. We're going to go through pretty much everything deep, loads and loads of deep questions. I got my laptop right here. Hey, feeling good. Hey. I'm in the car because I had it set up at home, but to be completely honest, I just figured why not actually bring you to the place that I love to be, which is in my car. I'm going to take you guys through my music playlist. You know, I listen to a range of different types of music. You guys are going to experience that. To be honest, we're just going to vibe a little bit and we're just going to get really, really deep. That's the plan. So the other day I put up a story and I told all of you guys, send in as many questions as you wish. And it's going to be completely anonymous and you can be as raw as you want. And it can include assumptions as well. A lot of questions were very, very similar. There was a lot about my relationship life. A lot of questions asking if I'm single. We will get into that. I basically kind of summarized it so we can kind of get the juicy stuff out quickly. I can't help myself. I just love Bhangra. I grew up to it. I can't help it. To be honest, I just want to get straight to it. So the first question you guys asked, what is my morning routine? My morning routine changes. I'm going to be honest. It changes all the time because I'm doing different projects all the time. I'm working with different clients depending if they're overseas or not. So, I also got my Pret. It changes all the time. So it changes because obviously we've had lockdown. So it meant that I don't have to travel. So I've also got that extra hour in the morning. It also depends on what I'm reading. Also depends on what's working for my body. And sometimes I'm working late. It just varies. Right now, my morning routine is waking up at 6 to 6:45, depending on if I've worked late. Then what I'll do is I'll come down, have a shower. It used to be a cold shower, but I had to stop that because it was just getting really, really painful because we're in peak winter right now. It's freezing. It's literally burning my skin sometimes, so I had to kind of take an ease on that temporarily.
So pathetic.
After my cold shower, then I carry out my meditation practices. So I mantra meditate and I also do breathing meditations. Once I've done that, I will then start reading. So I'm reading currently scriptures at the same time as also reading other self-help personal development books. Wow. Right now, my book of choice is Cybernetics. So that's a really, really good book. It goes into a lot of psychology. It's really, really interesting. My scriptural book that I'm reading is something called the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's like the Bhagavad Gita, but like the next version up. Powerful, powerful book. I strongly obviously suggest you read the Bhagavad Gita first if you are to read these scriptures. But yeah, it just teaches you so much about life. Now we're going to get to the juicy stuff. All right, so... Oh, yes! This! Oh, my God! This! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip in and out of the deepness. So this is my favorite song of all time. All-time favorite. Next question is insecurities. So I'm going to be honest. Everyone has insecurities. I know multi-millionaires, billionaires. I know influencers. I know motivational speakers. All of them have insecurities. It's just part of human nature. You're insecure. You're insecure. You're insecure. You're insecure. Now the thing is, you can heal and cure those insecurities. That's the thing. But at the same time, you are going to have more insecurities that will come up as your life goes on, as things change. So currently, at the moment, my insecurity, I would have to say... Oh, I just spilled my... Oh, beautiful, man. Anyway, so I did a little bit of reflecting, and I have to say that currently... my insecurities are around my identity. The fact that I'm still obviously trying to find my voice. I'm still trying to find who I want to be and how I want to serve. And I know I want to serve through speaking. I know I want to serve through helping others.
I want to be America's Next Top Model.
And I know I want to serve in the region of personal development and self-help. But specifically niching down on how I want to do that and which niche I want to go into. Is it life transformation? Is it just personal development overall? I'm not too sure. And it doesn't come out all the time. It mainly comes out when I'm around other people in my industry. So when I meet other motivational speakers and I meet other coaches, and they've kind of got it nailed down, obviously, and I'm just kind of still figuring things out. So that for me is probably my insecurity at the moment. I have had other insecurities, you know. I'm going to be really raw with you guys. I used to be really insecure about my nose, for example. Like, it's always been a thing. Like, I My sister used to make fun of me about it. Maybe it's just from that, but
Slow rush, slow touch, no way. Like I go country, eye for eye, like I lose trust. Why run?
are you vegan? If so, why? Because I'm considering it. There were only about 2 or 3 questions on this. I am vegan. I've been vegan for about 5 years. I never actually chose to be vegan. So, oh my God, that's so amazing. Anyway, so I never actually chose to be vegan. My sister, she's been vegan for about 10 years. In the process, she would always try and convince me to be vegan by kind of telling me messages about what goes on in the industry, the cruelty to animals.
This food has a soul.
I never actually took her seriously until one day I was having cereal and I couldn't drink the milk at the end of the cereal. Kind of drink the milk. Anyway, point being, I couldn't do it. And I couldn't do it because I just kept thinking about the cruelty that was going on to the cows. I put it down and I kind of said, okay, I'll have this later. I just couldn't get it down me. So from that point on, I was just like, okay, I'm vegan now. And that was it. And I kind of never looked back. To be honest, I'm very grateful. I live in London, so it's very, very easy to be vegan. And anyone who wants to be vegan, go vegan. Honestly, it's not actually that hard. Once you make that step and once you pass about 3 months, you're fine. You know, it's that initial 3 months of kind of getting to grips with things, understanding what you need to sacrifice, where you need to look at the ingredients, all of that stuff. After that, you're just fine, honestly. It's just a little bit of discipline, a little bit of sacrifice, which comes with any form of success in life anyway, so.
All right, so JT was like everything growing up. Like, he was a dancer, he was a singer, he was an actor. For me, you know, he hit the triple. So I was so obsessed with him.
Okay, favorite book. My favorite books, the Spiritual Warrior series, powerful book by Bhakti Tirtha Swami, right? That entire series will just give you everything you need to know. He goes into psychology, he goes into spirituality, he goes into self-help. He just combines it all in this beautiful way. He had this skill of just being able to combine it all in such a great way, and he presents all of that throughout all the books. So definitely check that out. And I'm gonna have to say the Untethered Soul, Think and Grow Rich, obviously the Bhagavad Gita, you know, is a powerful, life-changing book for me. So yeah.
Love this song. Anytime I feel down, this is in my happy playlist, man.
Now, the question. I really don't like talking about my relationship life. I like to keep things private. But having said that, I understand that there's a lot of lessons I can give you guys through my experiences, and there's a lot of inspiration that can come out of it as well. I used to get inspired by other people's stories all the time, and I still do, to be honest. At the moment, whether I'm single or not, let's just leave that for now.
You can't do that. Like, you can't do that.
My past relationships, I have been in 2 relationships. I've had 1 serious relationship, and I've had 1 fling that became a 2-year relationship, but it was never intended to be that long, if that makes sense.
What?
I got into that relationship on a rebound from the first one, which was a terrible mistake, because I ended up attracting someone that was so wrong for me. Loads of terrible things happened in that relationship. A lot of cheating, a lot of manipulation, a lot of Instagram hacking. Damn! And I got bruised badly. I got really bruised. I got humbled in the process. I became very vulnerable. It was genuinely a matter of, like, when I left the relationship, I had to walk away and kind of lick my wounds, you know. It really took a toll on me. I remember when the breakup happened, like, I had 3 dates lined up ready to rebound again, I had 3 dates lined up, and the night before my first date, I cancelled all of them. And I was like, if I'm gonna do this now, I'm gonna do this properly. And I'm going to use every bit of experience that I go through to one day inspire and teach others the same process. So I went in this entire journey, and you're always on the journey of self-love and personal development, but it just threw me into this, like, I need to just level up in life. I need to find myself. I need to love myself. I need to become secure with myself. I was very avoidant in that relationship. And then after that relationship, I became anxious avoidant. So I became very kind of stopped trusting people, and also lost a lot of self-esteem on myself. So I had to build all of that back up. And this coming from the guy who, his key trait was the fact that he was the confident, loud guy in the room. So I had to kind of rebuild everything all over again. And I'm always rebuilding. Like, I'm forever on this journey of constantly building my self-esteem. So it will never stop. You'll never kind of reach that perfection state. But yeah, I had to go through a lot.
I love your Sing it to me. Sing it to me.
Whew, another question. I love this question. It was actually a hate comment. Why do you believe in God? I would have expected more from you. Wow. I'm very open about my faith. I'm very open about the fact I believe in God. The reason being is I actually come from a very scientific background. So because of that, I put a lot of research before coming to this conclusion. The reason I believe in God is genuinely just because I studied physics, and there's so many things that go on in physics, and a lot of the laws just go against nature. Like, it doesn't make sense beyond the atom.
So it doesn't make sense.
So that kind of spurred something. And then after that, I was researching more and more and more. And then I came to the conclusion that we can only see in the visible light spectrum. We can only hear between specific hertz, 20 and 20,000 hertz. So I'm thinking, well, if as a human, I can only see between a certain spectrum of light, and I can only hear certain things, then my senses are limited. In which case, who am I to conclude that there is no God or nothing out there that exists?
I am as ignorant as you.
So then that put me in this agnostic stage where I was like, I'm not sure. There could be someone out there. I don't know. So then I started exploring religion. So I started exploring, I read the Quran, I read the Bhagavad Gita, I read the Bible. They all preach the same thing essentially, which is just a matter of loving yourself, loving others, and loving God. And that's it. They all preach the same thing. But for me, what happened was I became fascinated with the Vedas, because the Vedas teach a lot of science and also transcendental science. So beyond what we currently know as scientists in today's age. So I was really, really fascinated by that.
Science!
The kind of main concept that kept coming up was this idea of the soul, that we're souls having a human experience rather than humans having a soul experience. What? So that for me was a really, really kind of eye-opener, because that got me questioning more, thinking, well, if we're souls having a human experience, how can we prove that? How can we prove, you know, concepts like reincarnation and stuff? I don't remember my past life. So then I came across this book called Old Souls. And in that book, there's a scientist who basically tried to disprove the theory of reincarnation. But in the process, he found thousands of cases that actually proved reincarnation. There are kind of child prodigies, there are children speaking languages, ancient languages, and these are the kind of 2-3-year-olds. There are children who have recollections of like random villages that you would have never heard of, and they know each family member living there, and they know kind of where the houses used to be and stuff, and it's crazy. Honestly, crazy. And that for me helped me kind of think, okay, there's something in this. The soul probably does exist then, if reincarnation is true. And then that kind of led me more and more to eventually conclude that, well, if this exists and this exists and this exists, then this all kind of fits together, in which case God must exist. Yeah! I'm not saying this to force an opinion on you. I'm saying this because someone asked the question, by the way. I just want to make that clear. I came from a science background, and I personally would still admit that science itself is a faith. You had faith in your science teacher at one point at a very young age to accept that the sun is the center of the solar system, right? Like, you had that faith. And then that faith led for you to believe something else, which believed something else, which believed something else, which then formed this puzzle, which is exactly what I did. I just found something, believed it, went to something else, and it all kind of made sense to me. So that kind of is a long way of answering it, but that's pretty much why.
All right, so this song, anytime I just feel
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Is this my full-time job? No. Cash Talks is not my full-time job. My full-time job is actually running an agency. So I work with clients who are entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, and I basically help them grow a social media presence. So growing their followers to things like 100, 200,000 followers. So some of my clients include people like the UK's Youngest Millionaire, which is really, really great because I get to learn so much from my clients in the process about business. And at the same time, I'm basically doing that for Cash Talks anyway. It's actually that spurred me to start Cash Talks. So because I'm working with all these coaches and entrepreneurs and stuff. If you guys also want to work with me in terms of growing your Instagram account and creating content, LinkedIn growth, drop me a message. Just, you can email me below or you can book a call with me, either one.
gonna be vibing to Chris Brown.
What's your goal in life? Okay, so I did kind of split this up into short, medium, and long, but I'm just gonna give you one answer because I think this video is getting really long. My overall goal is genuinely just to connect everything that I've experienced and bring it to you guys.
Come on.
So that's the monks that I've spoken to, the knowledge that I've acquired, the books I've read. I'm gonna make a book, obviously. Like, there's just so much that I can see, and I'm like, why doesn't the world know this? That frustrates me so much, and that's what drives me every day. It's like, this could help so many people. Why are we not getting this out there? And it's just a matter of strategy. And I come from an entrepreneurial background, so I'm just trying to combine the two, where I love reading, I love speaking, I love learning, and I love strategy, and I love business, and I love entrepreneurship. So let me just combine the two by growing Cash Talks and then presenting everything to you. So that for me is the kind of goal. And in the process, I want to set up kind of charity projects and stuff. So yeah.
Alright, so this is a friend of mine. He recently released this track, and I thought I'd give it to you guys because it's so nice. Just love songs like this. They just put you in such a good mood. They raise your level of consciousness.
Hare Krishna, Hare
toxic trait about myself. Okay, so my most toxic trait about myself, and I think this about myself, is I have two sides to me. So I've got the kind of fun, outgoing.
Yes, it's Justin Bieber. I love him. I love Justin Bieber.
got that. Yeah, you got that yum.
No, not immature, not childish, but just kind of like fun side of me. And I've got this other side of me that's super deep, super spiritual, super kind of mature, and super kind of just focused. Sometimes I kind of blend the two too much.
Here we go, drop.
Mama Deva, Deva.
Subtle drop. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Mama Deva, Deva.
Which is really bad because when I'm in the business world, I kind of need to maintain the perception that I have, especially when I'm working with clients. So it is really important. So I think that for me is my biggest toxic trait. And I know that probably isn't what you wanted to hear, but that's that.
Pagol hoye jabo ami, pagol hoye jabo.
Once again.
Worst thing about cash talks. All right, so I'm not going to say this is the worst thing, but what I'm going to say is that it's a big thing. It's a lot of responsibility. Because I know from the DMs that I get, the emails that I get, the messages that I get, there's a lot of trust put in what I give out. Obviously my clients as well, you know, I do one-to-one coaching, which I'll probably be stopping soon because I want to actually introduce monthly coaching to you guys so it's more affordable and everyone gets access. I need to make sure I'm on point every day. For that reason, I need to be authentic with anything I put out. I need to make sure that I'm on it and not dropping off every single day. You know, if I'm telling you to take cold showers, I need to take those cold showers. If I'm telling you to quit a habit, I can't be doing that habit. And that's the thing, like there's a lot of responsibility that goes with it. And in itself, I'm grateful because it makes sure that I can't drop off. I have no choice but to. I'm in the eyes of the public now. The way I see it is that it's my responsibility to ensure that I'm keeping on top of it for you guys. So that's what I'd say. And in fact, actually, the worst thing about cash talks is not being able to be there individually with everyone, because some of the messages I get, I genuinely just want to sit there with you and kind of hear you out and help with you with the process.
You just don't understand how much I love you, do you? I'm here for you.
But I just can't, and I can't be there all the time, and I can't reply to hundreds of DMs as much as I would love to, because obviously I have other things going on. And that for me, it upsets me, because it's like I want to be there, I want to reply, I want to, you know, sit down and give everything I've got, but I just can't be everywhere at once, and that's unfortunate. But that's why I'm probably going to introduce the monthly coaching, because that way everyone gets access, everyone can afford it, and everyone can kind of learn in the process and grow and develop. So
Nah, we're not playing it.
how do you deal with haters? This was a really good one. Oh my God. Because I actually kind of had a situation with this a couple of weeks ago. I don't necessarily feel a lot of hate from kind of unknown people. I kind of get a lot more hate from the people who know me, which is actually ironic. You guys are all so kind to me. You guys are all so positive towards me, and it gets me going every single time. Some of the messages, honestly, I got one message this morning and someone was saying that they cried in one of my videos. Honestly, like that for me cancels out hundreds and hundreds of messages. I get most of my hate kind of from the people who know me, the people who know my past, the people who know what I used to be like, those kind of people who haven't seen the transition, who weren't there when the pain was there, who weren't there when the growth was there, who weren't there when I had to kind of change myself as a person. They don't know that, so they're still thinking that I'm that person years and years ago, and therefore I get a lot of hate in that sense. So not necessarily to my face, like I read chats, I get chats sent to me from other people, and I know what's going on kind of and who's saying what.
Oh guys, it's closed, unfortunately. I took us all the way here, and I didn't actually check the time. I'm sorry, I did not intend for that. I'm sorry.
Okay, assumptions.
Yeah! Yeah!
Okay, so I love these assumptions because some of them are like, wow. So number one was you're funny. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm funny. I think I'm just kind of, I'm just loud and kind of just put on a certain expression with it, and that's it. That's my funniness. My best friend is actually funny. Like he'll actually make me laugh with jokes, with specific jokes. I can't do jokes. I'm just kind of, I just use myself as a way of being funny. That's what I do. You secretly hate life. This was so deep. Honestly, some of you guys were just like going at me. I don't hate life. I think deep about life. I question life. I'm curious about life. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. What I do think is that we're living in a material world. The happiness that we can get externally is limited and temporary. So we need to look beyond. We need to look beyond ourselves. We need to look beyond the world that we're living in. And that's where kind of spirituality comes in. So I definitely don't hate life. I just think that there's more to life.
I'm out of town. She's out the door. I gotta go for mine. I think I'll say yeah. Don't know you.
You've gone through a lot. I think that's relative. I think everyone goes through a lot. And the one thing I've realized, especially in coaching my clients, is that your problem is going to feel like a mountain to you. No matter who has worse problems, there's no point thinking about them, because to you, the problem that's in front of you, no matter how small it is, it's going to feel big. So everyone's going through a lot. It's just that there are some people going through the same thing every year for 10 years because they never learn the lessons. And there are some who kind of go through it, learn the lesson, which is even more painful, more intense, and then kind of bounce back. So that's the only difference, I'd say.
Yo, it's the Hyperman set. AJ Tracy live and direct. DJ mash up the deck. The microphone champ is live.
You're a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I wish I was a millionaire.
Let's go.
But to be honest, I'm not interested in money as such. I've never been the type to kind of chase fast cars, or once I get to a stage where I don't really kind of need to care about money, I'm not really interested in after that in terms of buying things.
From them saying we don't have to worry about money no more, and I said that's good. One less thing.
I'll just be using that money to set up charity projects, to focus on cash talks, to serve, basically. Just serve. I've saved the best assumption till last, so this is the second last.
They wanna stay up and party all night, yo.
You're really confident. I really don't like this assumption. The reason I don't like this assumption is because this assumption has come out of the fact that I'm on video, I speak on camera. When you see me in person, I'm quite loud and I'm quite sociable, etc. But that's as far as it goes. That's not a reason to believe confidence. Although I may be confident within now, 5 years ago, I was louder, I was more sociable, I was more out there. My most loudest moments, my most sociable moments, my most kind of centered attention moments have been the moments that have been the most insecure and least confident. Those have just been coping mechanisms. It's weird, but what I would do in the past was I would get even more loud and even demand the center of attention even more because I lacked the confidence within. And people would see that as confidence.
Things that make you go,
But I'm going to say this now, that was not confidence. True confidence, genuine confidence, which is kind of where I'm at right now. Again, it's still a journey, still a process for everyone. You'll never be perfect. But I'm quieter now and less sociable now because real confidence comes with confidence in yourself, i.e. trusting yourself. That's the main thing. Do you have trust in yourself? And what I mean by that is on a subconscious level, do you value yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? Do you see yourself on a high pedestal? When you tell yourself you're going to do something, do you show up? Because every time you don't show up, you are subconsciously telling yourself you're not worthy. You are subconsciously devaluing yourself. If I ask you tomorrow, do you believe that you can become XYZ by the end of the year? And if you say no to me, then you lack the confidence to believe in yourself and your own abilities. And that's real confidence. So there are people here and they've kind of disrupted my videoing, which is a bit annoying. You're just another Jay Shetty. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. I'm so drained right now, but I love this question. I love this assumption. You're just another Jay Shetty. I'm not. Listen, all right. Let's set the record straight, all right? Jay Shetty is a massive inspiration of mine. I speak to him. I've known him before he was kind of famous, and he helped me a lot back then, to be honest. I remember having a chat with him when I was kind of going through something, and he's always just been an inspiration. I would not say I'm another him. The reason being is that you kind of find a brown guy speaking on personal development, you associate him with the next biggest brown guy, which is Jay Shetty. Fine. But our styles are completely different. What we speak about is completely different. He's making phenomenal viral videos and like, they're so interesting, so cool, so fun to watch, and so helpful and insightful. That's not my style. So I would say this, like, he's an inspiration. We're both brown. We're both speaking on kind of same niche, but beyond that, I wouldn't say I'm another him. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I just have to address that. I knew that assumption was going to come. I honestly knew it, but I just have to make it clear, like, he's a huge inspiration of mine, like, and he knows it. I've told him many times. The reason he's an inspiration is not because of his achievements. I want to make that clear. It's not his externals. The reason he's an inspiration is because of actually his spiritual background. Like, he's very grounded in his spiritual practices. He's very grounded with his meditation practices. He's very grounded with everything that he does. And that, for me, shows like substance. I know entrepreneurs who are kind of 10 times more successful on paper, but for me, they don't excite me. They don't inspire me because their values are different. They're not grounded in the same way. So I definitely see him as an inspiration, but I would not say I'm anything like him. We have different personalities. Everything's just different. I don't know why people, I don't know why people really get thinking about this. We're just different people, man. Banger. All right, let's go. Okay, I think we're done now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Kind of also just a way of kind of thanking you guys, to be honest. Thanking all of the subscribers. We've hit more than 1,000 subscribers now, and we're growing every day. Instagram is growing rapidly. We're almost at 6,000 followers. Like, everything's just kind of growing, and I'm so grateful to every single person who's part of that process. So I guess I kind of owed it to you. Plus the fact that I took a break. So this is my way of getting back into it. So if you like this video, like it, comment. If you found value in this, I hope I kind of gave value at the same time. I really didn't want to just make a get to know me video because me is pointless. Like, you're here to learn, right? You're here to gain value. You're here to develop yourself. So I hope there was something that came out of it. Share it with as many people as you can. I see this as like, we're in this together now. I genuinely see it like that. And that sounds really cringe. That genuinely sounds cringe, but I mean it. We've grown together.
We're all in this together. Yes, we are. We're all stars.
You can't back out now. I mean, you're watching this. You're in this now. You're part of the deep thinking, high flying movement. That's the goal. So listen, guys, keep thinking deep, keep flying high, and I will see you guys next week. I really don't know how to end this video. I just keep rambling on. All right. Thank you, guys. Catch you guys next week. Cash Talks. Cash Talks. Ah, that's how I ended it. Oh my God. I completely forgot my ending. Cash Talks is out. Oh my God.